What if you ran your health with the same laser focus a CEO uses to run a business? Well, that's exactly what we're going to talk about. We're going to identify those silent health risks that just fly under the radar and then build a real system to manage them. Okay, so imagine you're a CEO. You're running this huge company with a massive warehouse. I've got one simple question for you. What's the most dangerous thing in there? You thinking flammable liquids, heavy machinery? Nope. The answer? It's the one you don't even know you have. See, an uninventoried item is a totally unknown liability, and that exact same principle applies 100% to our health. The biggest risks aren't the ones you see coming. They're the silent, unmonitored ones lurking in the shadows. So, let's take a tour of this silent warehouse, shall we? In this first part, we're going to start thinking about our body not just as, this thing we live in, but as a complex operation that we are in charge of managing. Let's get really specific here. A perfect example of an unidentified object in your body's warehouse is something like an asymptomatic polyp in the gallbladder. It's not causing any pain, right? It's not disrupting your body's supply chain. From a day-to-day point of view, it's basically invisible. But if you're a good CEO, you know that any unmonitored liability needs a regular audit, period. And this brings us to a really critical question. If these risks are out there, why are we so bad at keeping track of them? We're about to dig into the system-level problem here, and we're calling it the audit deficit. So first, why don't we even notice these things? Honestly, it's pretty simple. A tiny little polyp isn't blocking any of the body's logistics pipes, so to speak. It's not gumming up the works, so our internal alarm system, our nerves, has absolutely no reason to sound the alarm. There's no pain, no symptoms, not a single signal. Okay, but let's say a doctor does find one. Why do we still tend to just push that thought to the back of our minds? Well, it comes down to this psychological quirk we all have called present bias. Our brains are basically hardwired to deal with the fire that's burning right now. A potential problem 5 years down the road, it just doesn't feel urgent, so we kick the can down the road. So why do doctors get all serious when this, unauthorized inventory hits a certain size, like 10 millimeters? It's all about the data. The numbers clearly show that once a polyp gets to a certain size, the chances of it staging a hostile takeover, becoming cancerous, it just spikes. This isn't about fear-mongering, it's pure statistical risk management. Now, when you take a step back, you can see the bigger problem, right? Our default setting for health is usually this break-fix model. We wait for something to break, for a symptom to pop up, and then we rush in to fix it. A CEO would never, ever run a factory that way. They'd use what's called predictive maintenance to stop the breakdowns before they even have a chance to happen. This brings us to our last and, honestly, our most important why. If we're biased towards the present and we're stuck in this break-fix loop, what's the one thing, the fundamental root cause tying all of this together? The root cause is this, the audit deficit. It's the simple fact that we lack a routine process, a system, for monitoring these slow-moving, silent liabilities. And because they don't make any noise, they just fall right through the cracks of our attention, sometimes until it's way too late. Okay, we've diagnosed the problem. Now let's build the solution. And it doesn't start with a doctor's visit, it starts with a mindset shift. It's time to assemble your inner executive team and install a brand new mental operating system. We're going to arm you with 3 really powerful psychological models that top performers use all the time. Think of these as the software for your new job as body CEO. Internal family systems, cognitive behavioral therapy, and neurolinguistic programming. First up, using IFS. Look, we all have that anxious protector part of our mind. The second it hears a word like polyp, it just starts screaming danger. A good CEO's job isn't to ignore that voice, it's to manage it. You can literally say to that part of yourself, hey, thank you for the warning. I hear you, the risk is noted, and it's being monitored. We are safe, you can stand down. Next up, we use a little CBT to reframe our automatic thoughts. The default thought is usually, if it doesn't hurt, I'm fine. The body CEO reframe is this. An audit isn't about looking for trouble. An audit confirms my safety. It's a really subtle shift, but it's a profound one. It moves you from fear to empowerment. And finally, let's use NLP to change our emotional state. We're going to create a new positive anchor we can call auditor's pride. So instead of associating a hospital or a checkup with fear, you consciously relabel that experience as data collection. After every single checkup, you take a moment and you feel that win, the pride of being a proactive CEO who is expertly managing their assets. All right, with the right mindset installed, it's time to build the action plan. This is the CEO's strategic playbook. It's simple, it's effective, and it's built to last. Let's just boil this all down to a first principle. At its absolute core, risk is simply change over time. A polyp that's just sitting there, not changing, low risk. One that's growing, higher risk. So the most effective solution is an annual snapshot, a simple yearly check-in to track that change. And what does this snapshot actually take? This is the 80-20 principle at its best. For 80% of the results, which is peace of mind and catching things early, all you need is 20% of the effort. In this case, that's just one 15-minute ultrasound a year. That is a tiny, tiny investment for a massive, massive return. Now here's the key, and this is the trap. This task falls right into that important but not urgent box. And we all know what happens to those tasks. They get pushed off forever. The only way to make it happen is to treat it like a non-negotiable contract with your most valuable asset, you. You have to schedule it, lock it into your calendar. Ultimately, it really all comes down to this. Your health, in many ways, is a game against random chance. Not getting a checkup is a bet. You are betting your entire future on the hope that nothing is wrong. But if you get the checkup, you spend a tiny fraction of your time to completely eliminate that risk. In this game, the winning move, the only logical move for a smart CEO, is always the checkup.